Ravel, ambitious, brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello and welcome to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast. And yes, we're a day earlier than normal. Blame the EFL. Blame the EFL for that and all. We thought we'd get in before the playoffs so we can talk about the League One playoffs and basically sit back, enjoy and laugh at the misery and agony that they all have to go through over the next couple of weeks. Very smug faces on, guys. To start with, we have just the three of us. We have myself and Danny is with us. Thank you for joining us today, Danny.
Hello, everybody.
And Michael is very happy today because he had his picture taken with his favourite Rotherham United player, didn't you?
I'm 57, man.
I know, but you still did it, didn't you? You still enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Danny, can you guess who his favourite player is? Who Mick's favourite player is that he had his picture taken with? We'll have a bit of a guessing game. Everybody's in the comments wants to guess who Mick's favourite player was. He had one picture taken. Who did Mick have his picture taken with?
Just the one picture, eh?
That's the one.
It's going to be like Guess Who, isn't it? Does he have a beard?
He does not have a beard.
He does not
have a beard. I know where you were going with that.
Yeah. Does he have any hair at all?
Not much.
Not much. Interesting. See, I was trying to be funny about it and play Guess Who with it, but I actually have no idea.
Will Robux said we did see him with Dan. We were talking to Dan Barlas. It wasn't Dan. Alfie Knott. It wasn't Woody. Deborah Allett. It wasn't Wilesy. Mick, put everybody out of the misery. Who is your favourite Rotherham United player, and who did you get?
At the moment, Super Wesley Harding. That's all.
Super Wesley Harding.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've told him he's won our Player at Season award.
He hasn't, and that is only because I didn't put him in the vote. So sorry, Wes, if you're watching. That's a good point to remind everybody, Mick. Thank you very much for reminding.
You're very welcome. Nice.
Our end of the season awards show will be live on Sunday. But black tie event, if anyone wants to join at home, wear your best outfit Sunday evening. We will be doing, there's 9 awards, which you can vote for now. If you go onto our Twitter page, it's the pinned tweet. That is open until about 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon, at which point it will be deleted from there. So nobody will know the results. It will literally be me that knows results until Sunday. We'll put them all like we did last year in a fancy gold envelope. We'll distribute them between me, Danny, and Mick, and probably Ben. And we'll find out who won those awards. So if you haven't already, please do vote, because we like to have a big sample size for these ones, don't we?
Yeah. I listen, talking to sample sizes to a man of my age means something completely different.
Okay, moving on.
Well, what I will say is about the live event, if you do watch along at home and you are in your Sunday best, literally, make sure you tweet us and tag us in the picture, because we'd love to see people at home in the Sunday best with a little glass of bubbly watching us faff about over an award ceremony. So that'd be great to see.
Exactly. We would love that. We would absolutely love that.
Wednesday.
Well, why not? We all went down to the parade today. Well, we went to the end of the parade where they went down to the town hall. We saw Russ Vernon. Pleasure to see him down there. We also, Alfie Knott says, I saw Matt and Mick today. I'm still starstruck. And you had a picture taken with somebody. Yes, we asked for your picture today, didn't they? That's how starstruck you're more popular than Ben.
It's some achievement, that. But yeah, this young lass called Grace, I think her YouTube account is S64Millie in the comments. I was just still with my mum and Finn because I took them down to the town hall to watch the celebrations. And this little voice behind me went, "Excuse me, can I have my picture with you, please?" It was like, really?
Wow, look at you, mate.
It's never happened to me before, but yeah, I managed to get her a picture with Tiny as well because she watches his vlogs. And it was all a bit surreal for me because that's never happened before. I think I need to watch what I say online now. That's
but yeah, it was great to see all the players. We should say it was a decent event. Obviously, we only went to the end bit. Obviously, we didn't go to the stadium or the park. I assume that went really well. I took my two little girls and the sign. They've got signed shirts, and we were talking about way back, Nick. How amazing is it that these kids get to do this? When I was a kid and when you were a kid, this weren't really a thing. Where I know this was a special occasion, but kids nowadays get so close to these players. It's amazing.
It is, and I don't know whether our club is any different to others. I'd like to think they are, but the players on Saturday at the game and tonight as well have spent so much time, you know, with the fans and interacting with people, and it's great to see. It's great to see. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely is. Will Roebuck with possibly the greatest story of the night. A little girl gave Warney 20p and said to put it towards Smudge's contract. I mean, that's just beautiful, isn't it? We'll come on to that later on. We aren't ignoring the shirt thing for Smudge. We're gonna, from half 8 onwards, Kev Johnson, who's one of the brains behind it, will be joining us, and we'll do all the Smudge talk because that could take half an hour in itself, couldn't it? To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mick, I'll give you a sort of free spot. Where would you like to start? Do you want to start with, are you still buzzing from Saturday? Do you want to talk about the RUC's famous / divisive video, which is amazing?
I'm looking forward to that bit.
Do you want to talk about Warney's post-promotion chat? Where do you want to go?
Saturday, yeah. I'm still, people are still asking me about it at work. My head, my nose and my arms are still peeling. It's just, yeah. I'm still watching that video. I still watch the video of that goal, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But you know, we talked about it. We talked it to death, really, didn't we, on the last podcast? Just the feeling that it gave us all, and it's not really subsided. It's not subsided at all, and it's great. It's just. I love it. I am so proud to support this football club, mate. I can't tell you.
Yeah, I only just got around to watching your vlog on Monday night or Tuesday night, Danny, and it's just brilliant. I think I watched it Tuesday night. I was going around to watching it, and it's just amazing. Just watch it from all these different angles. We talked about it on Sunday, but it's just amazing. Like Mick, I've watched it 1,000 times. It's just amazing. Still,
yeah. I mean, anyone who watches the vlog, you'll know about the scenes at the pub after. Right at the end of the vlog, and that's only a little snippet of it. There was so much more that I couldn't include because I was just up there with them dancing. Now, how would it end up on tables? I don't know. But yeah, I'm exactly the same. I can't stop watching that Georgie Kelly goal. I think it's on about 206,000 views now, just on Twitter. So I think Mick's bumped it up again by at least 1,000.
Yeah.
But I've got a little story about that.
Go on.
You know how Georgie
watching Twitter, is it?
No, it's not. Don't worry. You know how Georgie Kelly retweeted it himself and just put the caption "lol," right? And I replied with the limbs as it happened. Well, I woke up yesterday and it says Georgie Kelly liked your tweet. It's like, excuse me. So yeah, Georgie Kelly now knows what a lunatic sounds like in a Yorkshire accent celebrating a goal. So there you go. He's got this really lovely and bubbly Irish accent, and then there's just me screaming like a lunatic from the north of England.
Yeah, he's played 10 minutes for Rotherham United, but he knows all about it already. He knows all about it. He has got a lovely voice as well, Danny. He did an interview with some Irish podcast earlier, and he's got a lovely speaking voice. I don't know why. It just sounds lovely.
Yeah, but if you notice when he's talking to the Irish media about it, the accent gets thicker and thicker as he keeps talking, which is sometimes can be hard to understand. But like you say, he's got a lovely speaking voice, and he holds himself well, shall we say, in interviews. For a player who's not really done the professional press in England, he's very good at it. Very, very good at it. Don't know what the media training is like, but he's very good at it.
No, he
He
is.
he gets the student journalist seal of approval.
Yeah. Ian Bradley, the video of the Millers fans pointing where cheered past Kelly was so brilliant. It absolutely was. Yeah. And Will Rowe, I think this is from Paul Davis' Twitter feed today. The fact that Rathbone said that goal was the best moment in his life makes me feel happy. Yeah, it is. For some of these guys, this may appear. It may be the peak of some of their careers. I don't think it will be for a lot of them because I think a lot of these guys are destined for bigger and better things. But it could go on to be this season, could be the peak of their entire career. Woody already mentioned it tonight, didn't he, at Town Hall, that it's one of the best seasons, probably the best seasons he's ever had.
Yeah, absolutely. And from a performance point of view, I don't think it is Woody's best season. However, personal performances, I think he probably performed better last season in the Championship. But as a team, he's absolutely right. And he obviously, as captain and leader, he's contributed massively to that. So, yeah, we can't say enough about it, can we, really? We can't say enough about it. It's just been immense.
Yeah. Yeah, Ambrose Vernon says, just to let everybody know, he told someone in the pub that he was watching the game, and when Kelly came on, he said he would score.
Yeah.
He did. Josh Smith, Kelly's the only person not to Vegas this week, and he's finished his master's degree. Probably sums up why he's so well spoken. I mean, can you imagine? If we're not going to Vegas, no, I've got to finish my master's degree. Oh, but what a guy! I love that.
That's commitment, that, mate.
He definitely gets a student journalist seal of approval now.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian Bradley is with us. There's not a word about the attendance league derby, okay? We will come on to the playoffs later on. I'll think of another name. It's not the playoffs, is it? We'll think of another competition name.
Yeah.
It's as condescending as possible.
Yeah. They put in the off, so.
This one? Yeah, well, the off. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's something else.
Yeah, let's talk about the legendary RUFC and his video that was put out on Monday. Do we think Monday? Anyway, it's not really relevant what day it came out, is it? I suppose. Let's talk about the positive side of it first, because there is a negative side to it, unfortunately. The video itself, Danny, is brilliant. It's typical the RUFC. The music, brilliant. The fact it involves some crazy tweets, brilliant. The Steve Evans fat cheeseburger signs in there. I don't know what more you want from a video on Twitter. You know what I mean?
They had to come to me just to have eaten a biscuit.
Sorry.
But yeah, I watched it, and it did really sum up not just Paul Warren's season, but his 10 years as Rotherham manager. How he's had such massively high moments, but still gets dragged down by really sometimes out of order critical comments on Twitter. For me, I love the video because it brought back that sense of nostalgia and showed how much of a good job Ward has actually done. But then sort of brought it down again with the comments, like, and how quickly people can turn on managers. And he even said in his interview with Football Evan, he doesn't want to leave this club where 9,000 people are booing him, because he had to experience that when Ronnie Moore was manager. But I think, especially after this season, that number of worn-out people must be getting smaller and smaller, because the amount of things achieved with this club in such a short space of time has been exceptional. You know, he's not managed another club other than us, and he's already got 3 promotions under his belt, and unfortunately 2 relegations, but not like massively battered relegations, penultimate day and final day. And then he's getting progressively better every season in League One. He's gone from the playoffs to second place COVID promotion, and now he's topped it again by full season second place promotion and a cup win. And that's the first time it's happened in the club's history. And I think you just can't knock him this season. I think, if anything, he deserves to go to Vegas as well.
Does. He absolutely does. Mick, start with the positives before we get the Mick Rant flag out. Give me a positive from that, because it is a beautiful video. And take away from any, if anyone wants to take away any parts of it they don't like, whatever. But it is a beautiful video in terms of, like Danny just summed up, the jobs Warren has done, and for the most part, how much most of our fans adore him.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it kind of almost brings a tear to your eye. Well, it did for me anyway. It was fantastic. Really, really, really fantastic, and I absolutely congratulate the person behind that account for what they've produced there. It's just, I'll be honest with you. When I saw that there was some criticism of it, I was gobsmacked.
I had to rewatch it.
Genuinely, I was.
Yeah.
I couldn't I couldn't get my head around it. It didn't make any sense to me at all. And I've not reacted to it, and I wanted to react to it initially because it just seemed so unfair. But I thought, look, we've all of us said and done things in the heat of the moment, after a game, during a game, whatever. We're now in a world where we put stuff on social media in the heat of the moment, But whenever in the past you've done something that said something that was proved to be wrong and proved stupid or daft or ill thought out, the big person sits back and eats a bit of humble pie. You just go, yeah, all right, fair enough, got that wrong. You don't double down on it, which is what appears to have happened. The bottom line is, with the criticism side of it, if you're going to dish it out to the club or anybody, you've got to be able to take it. Don't dish it out and not be able to take it, because that's just, it's not acceptable. It's non-acceptable behaviour, So, I mean, that little video there from the RUFC is a piece of humble pie. Eat it and get over yourselves if you don't like it. I don't see it as a dig and digging people out. No more so than the tweets that it shows digging people out. I don't know. Am I being a bit simplistic about it? I find it hugely hypocritical to criticise that when all that is showing people's criticism. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. Carl Briggs says, where can I view the video? If you go on Twitter, search the IUFC, you'll see it. I think it must be top of his Twitter page at the minute.
Sound on.
What?
Sound on. You need to watch it with sound on.
You do have to watch it with sound on. Yeah, and I think we're in a world where think before you tweet or think before you put whatever you do on social media is quite important, because it will come back to bite you on the backside. And that's all that's happened. That is literally all that's happened. Is these things have come back to bite you on the backside.
That's life.
Exactly.
You go through life, you're going to get your backside bitten so many times, and it's usually about something that you've said or done. Get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think each person entitled to the opinion, but I'm surprised that it's caused as much upset as it has. Danny, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I thought it was a great video. I thought it was great, and I didn't really see anywhere to criticise it. It's like you've said, mate, they've been brought into the open with the comments, made to look a little bit out of line. Out of line sounds a bit strong, but I'm getting. And then they've just not liked it when they've been called out on it. And it's like, well, if you do express your opinion on the internet, someone is going to call you out on it. It's the same sort of when you express a political opinion on Twitter, someone will come after you for it. And I think now it's the same with the football club. And like you say, heat of the moment things do tend to come back and bite you on the backside. It's happened to me before with an expression. And my Chef Wednesday fans as it happens. And whenever you make a comment on something like Twitter, especially about a football club, you need to be able to back yourself up. And if it gets proven wrong, just go, all right, fair enough. I think it's the people who can't see, the fair enough side of it that have got a bit upset with it. But at the end of the day, we've been promoted, won his third promotion, and he definitely deserves to have his feet up somewhere for the next 2 weeks. At least. Because what he's achieved this season has been incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it has. Ian Bradley says he's the first to admit via his social media if and when you get things wrong. Mick's right, you can occasionally post things you regret later. You need to get over it a bit. Will Roebuck, I think a few people are embarrassed that their comments have been outed, which is certainly part of it. But to be fair, the IOC is not tagged people in them. He's blanked out their names and blanked out things, so nobody knows who anybody is, in fairness. Paul Barnfield says, Mick, I reckon you and him are about the same age myself. I'm current with the lows with the IFC, and a lot of fans who criticise one have not seen the bads like we have. No. We will not get a better manager ever who cares about the club, and I love the bloke. Yeah.
Listen, Paul's absolutely nailed it there. And I know it's difficult, isn't it? You know, you listen to people of my age and sometimes older and you know, banging on about bad old days and this, that and the other. And then if you've not experienced them and not gone through it, and all you've experienced is the last sort of 12, 14 years of relative success that we've had, you know, I guess you don't understand it. And that's not a criticism. That's not a dig at anybody. You're not going to understand it because you've not had to live through it. And so therefore, you know, you've not experienced it. Paul's absolutely right. He is by far and away the best manager that this club's ever had. Not take away all the success, take away the relegations, take away what the club has achieved during that time, but how he has contributed to building this football club on and off the field into what it is today is just ridiculous. I was thinking on the way back. Looking back, 2007, I think it was it when we had the Villas 07 and
about that,
something like that. And I think that was when Paul Douglas first came to the club. And I met Paul when he first came and talked to him about the huge task he had ahead of him. And I don't think neither he nor anybody else felt that we were ever going to get out of it. And I don't think he probably felt he were going to keep a job for more than 12 months, you know? And then we were a shambles. The club was a shambles, and that's nothing to do with Millers 07 or anything like that. The people behind that, they did the best to try and keep it going. I know I'm digressing a little bit here, but the point I'm trying to make is that at that time, which is 15, 16 years ago, the club was a shambles. It was a mess. And what's been achieved since then through Tony Stewart, but latterly through Paul Warne, is just an amazing achievement. So, yeah. What was a question? Was there a question? Or did I just interrupt?
I don't know. These things happen with you, to be honest with you. I say you're like winding up a toy and it just goes.
It's like Woody out of Toy Story. He pulls his string and he goes, "There's a snake in my boot," and just carries on talking about Rotherham.
yeah, exactly. Let's talk about another negative before we come on to loads more positives. We have to mention Freddie Ladapo because nobody's seen him. Where is Freddie? He wasn't at New York Stadium. He wasn't obviously at Gillingham. He wasn't at the Town Hall. Liam McGarry says, will Ladapo go to Vegas? What do you think? He even sounds like he's part of the team. Well, yeah, somebody doesn't know the team are apparently going to Vegas as a celebration. Again, Danny, it's difficult because we don't know the ins and outs, but I would have thought if there was something, as in he wants to move back home, that type of thing, the club would have come out and defended him. The club have just been silent. And for organisations like football clubs to stay silent actually speaks words to me. I think it does anyway. What do you think?
Yeah, it's one of them speculations. Start again. It's one of them things where, as fans, we can only speculate on it.
Yeah.
Because I imagine if we did know the ins and outs, we wouldn't be allowed to talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think because the club's been so quiet, I think it's just a case of we're just letting him get on with it, whatever he wants to do, and just get on with it. I think it might be a case that he does want the move away, but we want to get some return on our fee we paid for him, sort of things. So that's why we stayed quiet on it. But I think it does leave Freddie with a sour taste whenever we talk about him, because he was still a part of the team that's done this. You know, he got 15 goals this season, which is a very decent return for the number 2 striker. And But, you know, it would have been nice for him to share it with us just a little bit, you know, and just support the team a little bit. But because he's not been in the side since the Burton game and we've not seen nothing of him since then, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit disrespectful to a point because, you know, he's done so much this season, but then doesn't want to share it with the fans. He's just sort of gone off and done his own thing. It's a bit, really? You know, and he's good mates with a few members in the side, and to not be there today, it's a bit. Yeah, he's gone off and done his own thing. So it's a shame, but I think the clubs put their position out, saying we're just going to leave him to it, and I think us as fans should just leave him to it and see what happens with it now, whether or not we renew his contract and get a fee for him or what. But you know, it is what it is. It's one of them things where it's not going to dampen our promotion mood, is it?
No, absolutely not. Adele Evans says we're on the train back with Matic on the way up from Gillingham, and let's just say the players aren't impressed with him. No, I wouldn't be really impressed if all is true. Paul Brock says didn't see Rathbone today at Parkgate. Has he gone to Vegas already? No, but Rathbone was there. Rathbone was there. I'm not sure if he'd already been up beer or not because he looked like he was very happy with himself. But yeah. Dave Scrivens, let's not forget that Freddie will always be a Rotherham legend for the goals against Wednesday. Yes. I find that difficult to say those words at the minute, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion anyway.
Move on, Matt. Listen, you've got to move on. We don't know the background to this, do we? We don't know. There might be a reasonable explanation. There may not. Look, Freddie's not part of he would appear not to be part of the squad at the moment, part of the team, if you like. Let's move on. Let's just, you know, if he wants to be, fair play, no problem. It has been an issue. If not, move on. Good luck to him. He's given us some good times. Players move on.
Yeah, I know. Just a bit bitter in it.
Let it go, Mark. Come on, let it go.
Can't let it go. It's annoyed me. My football club. I want to be proud of every single player that pulls on that red and white shirt. And sometimes, you know, when somebody makes it, I find it difficult to let that go because I am clearly just a 12-year-old boy still inside. You know what I mean? I just can't let it go. Yeah, there we go. I think we just about covered everything with the first part. What we will do are a quick word from the legendary Manscaped that are with us supporting the podcast, as they always do. And on the other side of this break, we're going to bring Kev Johnston in and we're going to talk about the brilliant Michael Smith tribute that everybody's put forward to. See you in 1 minute and 16 seconds, it says. See you in a minute.
Manscaped, who very kindly decided to sponsor us. They're promoting their new product, the Lawnmower 4.0, which is kind of well known for reducing cuts and making it a lot easier to trim your balls. You can buy this separately or in a bundle called the Performance Package, which in that you get a ball toner, and ball deodorant, which are actually very handy because they're specifically designed for your balls, so they work very well. I highly recommend all of this. The lawnmower, it comes with a little light. Comes with a little light there that comes on when you turn the razor on. So it's very good. It comes with a little charging port, which is also a little holder. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I use it, and I highly recommend it.
You alright, guys?
You highly recommend it, Ben. You highly recommend that somebody goes to manscaped.com and enters the code NYT for free shipping and 20% off. So that's manscaped.com for 20% off free shipping using the code NYT. And Ben highly recommends it.
There we go. Ben highly recommends it. We have Kev Johnston joining us. Hello, Kev. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad, lads. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Pleasure. So let's talk about the brilliant thing that's been done by George. The idea was behind George on Twitter.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Just talk me through it, Kev. Talk about.
Well, it were all George's idea. To be fair, he contacted me. That seems like 2 days ago now. With the idea, he didn't want to do it himself. He didn't want to, fair play. He didn't want no publicity. Which I said, it's all your idea. I'll push it for you. And yeah, it started off as a bit. We thought we might get 150, 100, 200 pound, whatever. And it just spiraled. Everyone started sharing. Everyone's talking about it. Obviously, the guys at the frame company did a great deal on the Shearer shirt, which has arrived today. I've got that. And we thought whatever else we get, we'll just throw over to Rotherham Hospice, which is John Breckin's charity and local charity, brilliant charity they are. Money's just come flowing in. I'm losing track of it. I can't keep up.
Brilliant. What are we up to? What we're sitting now for Wednesday evening now? What's total as we stand?
As of about 10 minutes ago, we've had 137 donations and we had just over £1,400. So taking off the money for the shirt, we've got a good 1,300 quid going to hospice, which is unbelievable.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love Rotherham fans, me. They're brilliant.
Do you know what? Given obviously we've just had a very expensive end season, the Gillingham trips, bank holiday weekends for 100 plus fans to chuck in 5, 10, 50, whatever they can afford it. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. And one is chucked in, hasn't he?
One is chucked 50 quid in. Yeah, he should, yeah. Yeah, even I follow commentary guy, Matty Good, and he chucked 50 quid in as well, which is nice for him.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Amazing. So if anybody doesn't know, I'm sure everyone fan knows this, but the reason for this is at the start of the season, Richie Barker promised if Smithy got 25 goals this season, then he would give him his signed Alan Shearer shirt. He did it 25, but that was including the Papa John's, which didn't count. I don't know why they'd agreed with that, but it didn't count. Sadly missed out, but it's worth pointing out. Michael Smith, if he does leave, we'll talk about this in a minute. If he does leave, he'll leave. We've talked about in the breadths of the greatest Rotherham strikers ever, and this is just, if it has to be a parting gift, it has to be a parting gift. And what a way it would be to go.
It needs to be a bit of bribery for him to sign a new contract. We'll view it that way rather than all else. We'll see what happens with Smithy, won't we? He's been immense for us. He's been brilliant. I keep using that word, don't I? I'm going to have to find another word. But yeah, it's been massive. I can't use that one, can I?
Mighty. You're looking for mighty.
Mighty. Yeah, no, he's been brilliant and fully deserving of it. And obviously to get the added bonus of the extra money for the Rotherham Hospice is just incredible, absolutely incredible. I agree with Kev 100%. It is a fantastic charity, a wonderful place.
Yeah. I agree. Kevin, we've talked a lot about Saturday, but we can never talk too much about what happened on Saturday. It's
I can't remember.
What a day, what a way to end the season it were. Just tell us how it were from your point of view, how amazing it were.
Honestly, I mean, I've been following 40 odd years following Rotherham, and I've been on some amazing away trips now, but Saturday were just, I know it's recent, so it's probably still in memory, but I do think it was the best one I've been on. But, from start to finish, like we got picked up at 6:15 in the morning. We were at Donny train station, supping cans on train. The atmosphere on train was fantastic. In the ground, beautiful sunshine, and then everything else was just written. It was almost like it was planned and staged for Kelly to come on in 88th minute, and them scenes. It was just, I don't think I'll ever repeat it. I hope I do, obviously, but not sure.
Yeah. Such a I think a big part of it is it's being an away day, Danny. If I talked about it pre-game, that it almost had that Wembley vibe that you're going away. It's an all day. You're not coming back at 5 o'clock or back in your house or whatever. It was just all in. It took up your almost entire weekend.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find out when our last promotion was in an away day. I think it was sometime in the 80s that it was last in away ground.
Hartlepool in 2000? 2000? 2000.
And that when Monkey scored, and the Monkhouse scored that day, didn't he? Or did he play out?
It was Fortune Western, Branston with a stomp.
Branston, weren't it? Yeah, Branston. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What am I talking about? Were Andy Monkhouse playing for Hartlepool at that time then? Because he went to Hartlepool, didn't he?
You are terrible with your ears. Absolutely terrible.
Did Andy Monkhouse play for Rotherham at any stage?
I'll say no. Oh dear.
What's my name again? Oh, Mick. That's it. Sorry, I'll try.
He did go to Hartlepool, but a while after, I think he scored against us in JPT. I think.
I'm going to shut up.
That's before my time. I don't even know what football was in 2000.
Never done the Monkhouse.
But yeah, with it being an away trip, like you say, it's just a completely different vibe. You know, we're all up early in the morning. We're all nervous but excited at the same time. And then you've got the long trip to build yourself up to it, both sort of in confidence from the beer and both the nerves and the hysteria and everything that comes with it. That is something you don't get from a home game. With a home game, you'll outnumber the opposition and it'll be a great atmosphere because there's so many of you. But an away atmosphere with promotion on the line just doesn't compare, I don't think, especially on a stand like that, where if there was a roof on it, we'd have blown it off anyway. Yeah, it just added to it all, really. And I think Kelly's goal just really rounded it off perfectly, I think. And I think I'll still be watching it when it comes round to next season starting as well.
I look forward to the on these day clips in a few years' time when we have to relive it every single year. Yeah. When I said it had Wembley vibes, it stopped when we got to the ground because Gillingham's nothing like the Wembley or the surrounding area. That's where it stopped. Kev, I meant to ask, have we got the shirt with you? Can we see the shirt? I know this is.
I have, mate. Yeah, 2 seconds. I'm just taking my phone over. I've got the card as well. So there's the shirt. Can you see that?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, brilliant.
And there's the card. It's quite big. I had to go give it a big because obviously, and everybody's names so far written on it.
Wow,
brilliant!
Yeah.
Amazing. I think all of them fans when I say thank you for putting the work in. And it's a lot of work keeping track of all that money, writing everybody's names on, ordering it. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I've not written a check yet. It's still in my PayPal account, so don't count it. No, honestly, I've done
with that with players.
Yeah, I'm off. Yeah, no, I've helped John Brecken out before with some of his shirts auctions for the charity and all that, and I know how much it means to the amount of people who've donated and sent me a little message after saying why they've donated and what the hospice means to them. And it does to a lot. And obviously it's local, it's Rotherham, it's the community charity, so it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will continue to support them next season as well. So let's move on to some contract talks. Well, our contract. We haven't started the contract talks yet, so
are we under contract for this? For no,
yes.
I've got my contract here, Matt. When you're ready.
I'm going to pay you in Manscaped equipment. So the big one, let's start with the big one. Let's start with the big one that's up in the air. Michael Smith's out of contract. It was a risk at the start of the season, Danny. The risk was, do you keep Michael Smith till the end of his contract and hope that it gets us promoted, or do you sell him in last summer and make a bit of money from him? Took the risk, and it's paid off. Paid off in Droll. They couldn't have paid off any better. Now comes the question of, is Michael Smith going to stay a Rotherham United player? And all we can do at this point is, what's your gut feeling in terms of what's happened with Michael Smith? That's all I can ask, really.
My gut feeling says that he signs on again because he's had the meeting with Tony, the special package, as he says, to keep him on, and I think it's more hope that he stays on rather than being confident that he stays on, because I think now that he's had this stellar season in League One, he may want to try and apply himself in the Championship, but with more or less the same group of players, because he knows he can do it with them. But yeah, it is one of them where we'll have to wait and see. But in hindsight, the club did make the right decision not to cash in with 1 year left on his deal. They made the right decision to keep him firm for his final year here. And yeah, it's just been completely blown out of proportion this season. I mean, he's had 32 goal contributions in all competitions this season. 32. So 25 goals, 7 assists. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's his best ever season as a football player, never mind a Rotherham United player. So it's up to him now. It really is. It's up to him.
Yeah, it is. We've got some contrasting comments here. John Morrell, the Brum fan who joins us. Thank you for joining us, John. Says, sorry, lads, no chance he stays. Too much of a payday elsewhere. But Geraldine Simpson points out that she thinks after his Papa John's interview where he said he was settled off the pitch, it helps his performance on the pitch. That speaks volumes. I think he's matured and realised it's more than just about the money. And I think that comes into players' ages, Mick, that he's at a good age of his career. He's got his head screwed on. He's moved about a bit in his career before and is loved by the Rotherham fans. He's loved by Paul Warne. And the club have already sort of pointed out that they're willing to move as much of the heaven and earth as they possibly can to get him to stay. And that's what's sort of pushing me in the direction we might be able to pull off a bit of a miracle and keep him.
My sort of view on this is, I don't know whether it's controversial or not. I think one of the reasons Michael Smith has had such a good season this season is because he's at Rotherham United. And I don't mean Rotherham United, the club. I mean Rotherham United, the management team, the coaches, the team, the squad and everything else. Should he move somewhere else for bigger wages, I will wish him well. I really will, because you cannot blame the man. He's 30 years old, so with the greatest respect to everybody, he's now starting on the downhill trajectory of his career, particularly as a striker. So if he's going to get a chance of 10, 20, whatever it is, grand a week, you could never, ever begrudge him that. However, I question whether or not he would be able to put in those performances as well. Whether he put those performances in anywhere else for another manager, I don't know. That's my view.
That is controversial and interesting. Kev, what are your thoughts now? Obviously, we know how important he is to us, but how important do you think we are to him in terms of playing style?
Yeah, I think like that guy just said, I think very, and it does love the club. It does love it playing in. It has the team do compliment him, and like Mick points out, it's not just the team on the pitch; it's the back team as well. Personally, I've got a sneaky feeling he's going. I don't know why. Paul Smith put a comment out when he tweeted about the in the advertiser about this shirt, and he said one of his comments were, "I've loved my time at the club." Now you can read that into one. It could have just meant I've loved it here, but it could be his going. But I don't know. I mean, money wise, like you say, he's 30-year-old. This probably is his last payday, and he's probably back there thinking, Rotherham might break the wage cap for this once, and maybe give him 7-8 grand a week. Who knows? And a 3-year deal, that's £1 million over 3 years. So he might think, I'm going to stay and enjoy myself. Because if he does leave and goes to who would he go to for one? But if he does go, he might only play in 2/3 of the games what he's played for us. And then if he has a poor season that gets 5 or 6 goals, he's suddenly back out on loan. And, he's at that point, I don't know. 50-50. I hope it's like every other Miller, I hope he stays. But personally, and I wouldn't blame him if he did, because if he especially if he went somewhere like Middlesbrough, was probably going to give him 12, 13, maybe 14 grand a week. That's it, and he's set for life. But hopefully Tony Stewart backs Warney. Not that he's not backed him, but backs him properly, and does it gives him a real shot at it and gives him where he wants. If it means paying him 10 grand a week, I know we did it with Blackstock, which were the biggest mistake was life, but this is different. This is someone who loves the club and loves playing, and it's a big part of it. So if we did it for Blackstock 4 years ago, 5 years ago, do it now for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good point when you bring up Blackstock. That was obviously a huge gamble that blew up in everybody's face. This is not a gamble, is it? It's not a gamble at all. Even from a fitness point of view, I know that's touching all the wood I can find. Smith never injured. I think he's missed one squad in 4 years, which is incredible. So you're not even taking a risk from that point of view either.
We say he's never injured. He just plays to injury anyway.
Yeah,
well, that's true. Yeah, he is injured. It just doesn't matter when it comes to Michael Smith if he's injured or not.
You remember earlier on when I said you said something about doing things in the heat of the moment that you subsequently regret? There you go.
Yeah. A couple other ones. We've briefly talked about Freddie, but I'm going to move on. I'm not going to talk about Freddie. Sorry, we'll talk about him. A lot of players that have contract do have options. Smith doesn't. Icky doesn't. We'll talk about Icky again in a minute. Everybody else has options on their contracts. That's Victor, Jamie Lindsay, Mikel Miller. Go on. Chio. Have I missed anybody else off? Oh, obviously Freddie, as I've already mentioned. Danny, can you see any reason not to invoke that unless they agree new contracts? Can you see any reason we're not going to just automatically extend everybody's contracts?
I think the smart thing to do is to automatically extend everybody's just for our own security and guaranteeing a wage, a fee coming in for them if they do go, especially with Chio, because I reckon there will be a few noses sniffing out Chio this next season because, being an international and having another stellar season in League One with us, someone will have taken notice of that and will want to pay a pretty penny for him. But Chio has also come out and said that if he does get signed on for the other year, he will commit to that year, which is quite interesting to see. But they've said that contract talks are starting this week. They're starting with Smith this week, and then probably getting on to everybody else probably after they've come back from Vegas and their heads have cleared a little bit. But yeah, everyone who's got an option, I can see them taking out that option, especially with Freddie, so we get a fee for him, and with the other ones for security. as well. But everyone that you've mentioned there, I can honestly see him re-signing. I can see Chia wanting to have a good go at League One and avoid injury. I can see Victor wanting to have a good go at the Championship and avoid injury, which he's done for the vast majority of this season, apart from the one boot to the chest.
Stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Carries on.
Exactly. But yeah, I can see it with everybody, to be fair. I think everybody wants a really good crack at the Championship. Whether it's the last season with Rotherham or the extend beyond that, we'll wait and see. But I think everyone's up for Championship now and they want this club to stay up next season.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We talked about Mikel Miller the week, Mick. He's about his injuries. Charlie Simpson says he wants to sign. I think probably what he said today. He's the only one that you sort of think maybe, because if there is an issue, and this is a big if, because I think Mikel Miller's a superb player for any team, even at Championship. I think he'd be brilliant. But he's had his injury issues. And that's the only one where you sort of think if the club can't guarantee he's with fitter, less injury prone, then that might be one they decide not to. Only one for me. That's the only one I can think they might not.
Yeah, possibly. You don't know what the cause of these injuries is, do we? You know, is it that he's just injury prone, or who knows what? Has he just been unlucky? You know, and we spoke to Shane Ferguson earlier on tonight at that do at Town Hall and asking him about his foot, and he's no idea how he did it, has he? Just crossed the ball and his foot went. You know. So, it can happen just as easy as that. And it might be that's what's happened to Mikel Miller a couple of times, just been unlucky. He's a hell of a player. You know, if you could keep him fit for a season, geez, can you imagine what devastation he would cause with him and Chio out wide? It just, it will cause all sorts of problems for teams. So, I don't know. That's one for medical staff, isn't it, to have an input on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And the other one really to talk about, Kev, is Jamie Lindsay. And the only reason it's worth talking about is because he hasn't really played. So from a player point of view, he's going to want to play. He isn't playing, so it becomes a potentially complicated conversation.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I mean, if I were Jamie Lindsay, I'd definitely be thinking, because obviously if he comes in to get a game in League One, and I can't see his midfield of Rathbone and Barlaser changing, and obviously you've got the wide wingers, so I can't. Where he's going to be thinking, where do I fit in? And Portsmouth were after him back end of last season, or I think January transfer window. I think they'll still want him. I'd love to see him stay on. I think he's a great squad player. Personally, I think he'd walk into majority League One teams and probably some Championship teams. I think he's brilliant. So I think he'll stay. I think he'd be daft not to. But you might see him going out on loan early in the season. Maybe first transfer window if he's not getting game time, which you can't blame him.
No, absolutely. We all love Jamie Lindsay. But he needs to be playing games because he's that good. Yeah.
With regards to the contracts that we're on about Vegas, I'd be taking them to Vegas and making them sign them 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's sign that.
Exactly. I'm hoping today when they were doing all signatures on people's shirts, somebody just snuck Michael Smith's contract in there. Let's give a 10-year contract. On Icky, Paul Brock says, when I bought Icky a pint on Saturday night, I did say to him, you can have it if you sign the contract with us. He nodded, but probably just wanted the beer. Wouldn't love it if he stayed. He's another one that's key to that defence standing. That back three in the Championship last time, when it went to a back three, was superb. And Icky and Woody were so important to that back three. Bear in mind, they played a million games in such a short space of time as well. We all see him. Mick's talked about being a future Richard Wood anyway. He would, again, be an amazing summer business just to keep him.
Yeah, I think he would be, definitely. I mean, he's shown throughout this season as well that when Woody steps out, he can step up to the captaincy, but also line up alongside Woody. And they have built that relationship in defence together. And we have always been better defensively when we've had Reg, Wood and Icky in that back three with Harding pushed out wider. Could see that in the Championship next season potentially, but again, we've also got Warney talking about potentially making 7, 8 or 9 new signings in the summer. I think 9 might be pushing it. That might be worst case scenario if we lose a few players. But I think a few additions here and there, maybe in defence as well, just to keep pushing everybody else will certainly help. But I reckon Icky might sign a new deal as well, even if he did get a free beer before signing the contract.
Alex Ostick says, I really think Smith is going to go. I went to the party today, asked him if he was sane, and he said, can you shut up and stop asking me that? I can't imagine how many times he'd even asked that over the past few months. Bless him. Mick, Icky to stay.
Oh, 100%, mate. 100%. He's a proper captain. He's a proper leader, that man. He's grown and grown since he's been at this club, and hopefully we're able to keep him. Tony Stewart said tonight, look, we're in business this time. We will be investing. Those were his words. You know, so hopefully it's true to that. And that doesn't necessarily mean big signings, does it? It doesn't necessarily mean big signings. It could mean increasing that wage cap to accommodate the players that we've already got. So, and then just a couple of additions in there. I genuinely, and I know I might get slated for this, and I don't care anyway. This squad is not far off a championship squad. We're only a couple of. I don't even know whether we're a couple of players away from it. Maybe Woody. I've said it for 3. How many seasons have we been doing this podcast now? 3. I think this is Woody's last season. I've said it every one. So, and he's just got better every season after that. So, but to be fair, you know, it probably he's getting there. There's not a lot. Do we really need to change it? Do we just need a bit more strength?
I think it's just a sprinkling here and there, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
You've got to bear in mind the way that we've played this season doesn't suit playing against League One sides. It's not. It's not, and that's certainly second half of this season's proved it. You know, because teams have just come and shut up shop basically, and we've not been able to deal with that. Championship clubs don't do that. That's not what they're going to do. Certainly not what they're going to do against little old Rotherham. You know,
well, I don't think it's any coincidence that, like you said, Mick, that when we played the better teams, your Sunderlands and all that, we've played a lot better, and that's because they are, you know, they've already got probably championship squads, and when we're playing them times of teams, we do play better. So I agree. I think we'll be fine. Ish.
I agree.
Unless we can come up, obviously that was it.
Yeah, we'll talk about players in 5 minutes. John S says when we went down last time, he said we'd lost £5 million. Surely we should gamble some of that. That's the difference this time for me, Kev. This last time we got promoted, we were in the middle of COVID, and the money we could have spent on players had to go on just surviving as a football club. So we are in a different situation, a much better financial position than we were 2 years ago. Much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, COVID came and stripped all the attendance for, you know, no money coming in. Like the revenue, I follow passes, everyone streams off dodgy box anyway, so no one paying that. So it's like they've got to get some. So you're right, they've had to cut some, save some money, and now we have literally got, I think, is it £6 million for
6 to 8 million's worth, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, time for. I love Tony Stewart. I'd never ever say a bad word about him, but he has got to back him. Got to back him, and like you say, don't necessarily mean big name sign. I'd like to see us sign a couple of £500,000 players, maybe more, but secure what we've got. Make them want to stay.
Absolutely. Danny, you're that transfer man. I understand you got a transfer wall. Have you got a transfer wall, or with that joke?
Yeah, I'm just building. Well, a bit bigger than Post-its, more or less like this size of paper. And I'm just putting up, and it's just like details of rumours and like appearance stats and if they're internationals or not. I have got one on there at the minute, but I'm not sure if I can say who it is due to discretion and keeping people with a smile on the face and such. But there is one up there already, and then there's the obvious ones like, you know, like Will Grigg potentially coming back and that sort of thing as well. But yeah, that will hopefully get filled with a fair few names come July.
Yeah. Can you give us a position, Danny? I know you can't give us a name. I'm not going to push for a name. But can you give us a position? A strong rumour.
Centre forward.
Cole Stockton.
No comment. No comment. But that might be the next name going up.
Well, I think that all depends on Smith, really. That's why they're doing Smith's talks first. Because if he does go, then I think they will try and get Stockton because he's an ideal replacement.
Yeah, he is. He is 100% ideal replacement. And I don't think he's going to cost £4 million like people think he's going to cost. He's going to cost money, obviously. But I don't think it's going to be stupid money because Morecambe aren't in a position to demand that kind of money realistically. I think he's got another year left in his contract, so that's something to keep an eye on. Right, do you want to have a quick chat about the playoffs? And I mean,
what's that? Is that something that's happening?
Who's in it?
They get some fans, apparently. I don't know. So we've done this a day earlier than normal, so we can watch the playoffs tomorrow and then talk about them future going forward. The first one on Thursday would have been us had we not made promotion, but instead we get to watch MK.
Well, it's not us, is it?
It's not us. No.
Just
We get to
checking.
sit back and chill out. But it should be a good game, Mick. MK Dons, Wickham. Good, two decent enough teams, but both very good in very different ways. What's up now?
Why would it be a good game? Why on earth is it be a good game when Wickham are playing?
Because we're not involved in it. We don't have to worry about
Yeah,
them.
but we're still going to watch
bothering us.
it. Oh, man.
So you're not looking forward to it?
No, I'm not now. I mean, I should watch it, obviously. And much as it, well, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want out of this, if I want anything. Bear in mind, we've got to play one of these teams next season. We don't want to be playing Wendy's, obviously, just because we don't want them to go up. We don't want to be playing Sunderland, particularly because they'll go into even more debt next season when they go up and spend loads and loads of money and probably go back down again. But either way, they'll spend loads of money and get into more debt. Do we really want McDonald's to go up? Really? Do we? You know,
MK Dons go up, are they they're going to be down there, aren't they? MK Dons are not mid-table.
Yeah,
they're going to be a team to be in the fight, if that makes
But
sense.
Wimbledon, do we really want them to go up? Do they deserve to go up? And that only leaves you with Wickham. And if Wickham go up, we've got a good 10 minutes of football to play against them next season over 2 games.
Well, at least we've not finished bottom. That's
Well, yeah. Yeah, fair comment. Yeah, good point.
Have you seen the ticketing fiasco that MK Dons have done for Wickham?
Yeah, they split them up on there.
Shocker. Yeah. They bear in mind they got 38,000 seat stadium. Wickham have given 2,000 tickets, and they've split them in different corners of the ground.
Crazy.
Absolute shocker. Absolute shocker. MK Dons.
That's why I want Wickham to win that tie purely for that.
Yeah. Kevin, you looking forward to that game at all? Or you're very much in mixed camp? No Wickham, please.
No chance, man. I'm going out for an Italian tomorrow night. I ain't watching that. No way. No way. Not a chance. I want Wickham to win purely like Mick says. I don't like franchise for what they did. I think they're probably one of the best footballing teams in league. Apart from they play a lot of sideways stuff and back, but they do keep ball well. The pass that Scott Twine's unbelievable. I mean, we could never afford him, but he'll go on to a lot bigger, better things. Wickham, they remind me of us in a way, but not obviously not as good. But the fan base and it's like us, and they're going to go up and struggle. So I suppose, if I'm going to pick anybody, it's them for me tomorrow.
Danny, let's come on to the biggest game the League One playoffs have ever seen on Friday night.
We talked about that.
There's going to be 110,000 fans in at Stade Sunderland Wednesday. It's 2 inconsistent teams. If we're talking about football for a minute, it's 2 inconsistent teams. That one's more for me a toss of the coin. I can't pick one of those 2 really. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that and your immediate thought is that White Horse final back in the 20s at Wembley, isn't it? With the amount of fans that will be there spilling onto the pitch and everything like that. But I have just seen the official number and Sunderland have sold 40,000 for that game. Which, all right, for League One, it is very good. However, the attendance police has been running rife on Twitter looking at that sort of thing. And all I can say is that the 2 teams that went up automatically have averaged 9,000 at home this season. So well done, lads. Attendances don't win your football matches. But yeah, I mean, they can break the attendance record in the semi-finals of the playoffs, but teams that have gone up don't really care. And I'm sure MK Dons and Wickham don't care who they're playing in the final, like attendance-wise, because today at Wembley. But yeah, like you say, it's too close to call that one. They've both been exceptional at home this season, but they've just been very inconsistent with actually winning games. It'll be an interesting tie. That is for sure. And I'm going to get some flack for saying this, but the only reason, and there's about 15 ones why I don't want this to happen, but the one reason I want Wednesday to go up is because the Championship will be 29% Yorkshire next season.
Yeah.
It'll be effectively
I
the old
agree.
Yorkshire League. That is the only reason I want Wednesday to go up. Other than that, stay in League One. But we want to build a Yorkshire team, a Yorkshire League, and the Yorkshire Mini League in the Championship, which would be really nice.
Yeah,
I think one of the other things
we'll disagree with that.
I will. Yeah, I want none. I don't want a single Yorkshire team in there. Get them all out. The other thing they'll be able to compare notes about at that game on Friday night is how much money they spend on wages above how much money they earn, because they're both currently paying over 200% of their income on wages. That seems to be working well, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think it might that might come back to bite them. So am I right in thinking FFP comes back into playing Championship as well? So
I think it does. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean Wednesdays they've lost 41 million over 2 seasons. I mean that's bonkers, isn't it? That's unbelievable.
It is.
Point deduction.
Again.
Yeah.
I've said this last week. What I want to happen is I want a Wednesday Wycombe final. I want 50,000 Wednesday fans, 3,000 Wycombe fans, and Wycombe just to dirty all over them and sneak a one win. It'd be glorious, wouldn't it?
Akin Fenway going with his bicep at last minute or something.
Exactly. There we go. we said George and Kelly were in the stars. Maybe that's written in the stars as well. There we go. I think. Is anybody else in the topics I have closed me up? Any other quick topics before we wrap up?
I thought you had a running order, Matt.
Yeah, I've done it all. Ticked it all off, mate.
Oh, impressive.
IFC Event wants to when they are the awards show. A live awards show will be on Sunday evening. If you haven't voted already, go onto Twitter. Our pinned tweet on our Twitter page is our list of awards which you can vote on. Black tie event, Danny. Get your black tie shirt ready for Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening.
Will do. I still have to find that shirt that fits me, but we'll see.
And we will back on Sunday, and then future episodes we could try and get some former players on. I forgot to message them this week, so I will do that and we stop recording. And throughout the summer we'll keep coming, get some former players on. We can get some Miller's history down everybody's throats until pre-season starts, and we'll still keep coming with these episodes. We've got signings, contract, blah 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 to talk about. So thank you everybody who has listened tonight. We hope you would join us next time on Sunday. Kev, before we finish up, let everybody know where if they want to still donate. How and where can they do that for this?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, well, first of all, I did say earlier we were going to give the shirt to Smithy tomorrow, but the lads are flying to Vegas Thursday instead of Friday, so it's not going to happen, which is probably better because it gives us more time. So if you want to send a bank transfer, if you don't use PayPal, send me a message on Twitter and I can give bank details. I obviously won't put them online straight away, but I'll do it in private message. PayPal's the easiest one, but go to me on Twitter at KevJohnson77. All the details are on there. Like I say, everyone who donates will put your name in the card. And I know the shirt's bought, but please, if you've not, everyone who has donated, thank you. It's amazing. If you haven't, please just chuck a few quid in, and it's all going to Rotherham Hospice. And we'll probably end it Monday or Tuesday next week, close it off, and hopefully get above 1,500 quid and happy days.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. I should have mentioned we've all apparently got to become Sunderland fans for the playoff. Michael Smith's mother-in-law, Chris on Twitter's insisted that we become Sunderland fans for the playoffs. I can do that. Go on, what?
Will that make him sign a new contract? Will that help?
Every little helps, you know what I mean? Keep his family on side, you never know. Brill, thank you, Kev. It's been a pleasure to speak to you tonight.
Cheers for having me on, guys. Thank you.
Rick, Danny, it's always a pleasure to speak to you, boys.
Yeah, right.
Mick, press the button.
Oh, I'll do that then. See you later.
Credits on one-on-one. The credits finish shoot. Can they go shot? Yeah!